Hi guys, and welcome back to Crypto Chester. I'm here today to give you a Bitcoin update. We're going to be going through cryptocurrency from a technical analysis perspective, going through Bitcoin on the short term, the mid-term, and of course the longer term time frame as well, because there's some very interesting stuff happening there. And then once we're done with Bitcoin, we're going to be going through to some altcoins, going to be using the quantum insight, going to be breaking down some altcoin charts and seeing whether we can get some nice trades for today to be looking out for, right? So without further ado, let's get straight into Bitcoin. And if you are watching the stream, make sure you hit the thumbs up. It does help it out tremendously. Even if you're not watching it live, hitting the thumbs up does help it out tremendously in the long run as well. Okay, so you have to appreciate that. And if you are liking the content, guys, smash a little subscribe on it, and you're never going to miss one of my uploads on this channel here. So jump into the chat quickly. We've got Sonoda, smash that name straight off the bat. Good stuff. Welcome to India. Here Optimist is coming through as well, saying good morning and happy Norwegian Constitution Day. You can go out and look at the parade in Bangkok. Interesting. I didn't know that was anything going on in Bangkok. Maybe I'll have a little Google once we're done with this stream and see if I can go see that. But yeah, thank you for letting me know about that, Here Optimist, and I hope you're all having a fantastic day as well. Without further ado, let's get into Bitcoin, because there's some very interesting things that we need to be going over and essentially assessing here today, depending on to see whether Bitcoin is going to be going to the goddamn moon, or is it going to be going to the bottom of the deep dark blue ocean. Okay, so let's get into this update today. Starting off on the short-term time frame, we are going to be using the Fibonacci volume weighted bands to start off with, guys. As you can see, this is a very colorful chart pattern here, and I'm just going to be getting rid of the volume weighted ATR bands for a second, and actually the rest of the TA on the chart, and we can really just have a look at this to see, to just basically keep an eye on this for relevance, right? Because you can see we're currently trading inside of this channel right now, and coming to the top side of this channel and testing that top side, right? This is very important, because if we look back in history, when we do test this top side of this channel, we do see it be quite reactive at times, okay? It's quite reactive at times for bearish momentum to the downside, whether it's a strong legs down or just general price action that we need to be very wary of, and that's usually in these top sort of 3 or 4 bands here, okay? So this is definitely something we can't be overlooking here if we are looking at Bitcoin here on the short-term time frame, because we're sort of flirting in that area right now. So this sort of gives us the impression that we're likely to probably have another test to this upside and likely to see rejection to this lower side yet again. But again, usually we do trade within these bands when we are testing this sort of level. So it's definitely an area to really be looking out for there. So the short-term sort of range that is on the cards today is probably going to be something along the lines of this. Unless, of course, we see a massive pump to the upside like we have seen in previous Friday price action here for Bitcoin. So there's still a few things to be looking out for. If we do see the sideways action persist and not that much volume comes in today, then I would expect just staying between 67 and 64, quite simply. Putting it essentially, right? RSI on the hourly, nothing too crazy to be looking out for there. No crazy divergences. We're pretty much in the central zone in terms of buying and selling pressure here at that 50 zone. Pretty boring stuff. Can't really get that much data off that. Let's bring up the volume weighted ATR bands here. Let's see what we're working with. So the volume weighted ATR bands are actually quite interesting today here on the hourly, and the reasoning for that is, guys, is because you can see we've got the 60-minute, the 30-minute, and the 5-minute. All in the same sort of vicinity, if you will, And one thing that I would be bullish on here, guys, is the fact that they are in a progressionary stance. Okay, they're still in a progressionary stance, even after seeing a bit of a tumble here for the chart. So nice to see us seeing a bit more of an uptrend here. Yes. Slightly a bit of a micro bear flag scenario here, so could see a breakdown, nothing too crazy. The measure move would just put us back down to this 5-minute volume weighted ATR band, and again, just referencing that Fibonacci band that we were just talking about at the start of this stream here. So overall, not looking too bad, but the volume weighted ATR bands could be acting as a nice trend indication that we're going to have sort of a short-term micro uptrend continuing today, which if that is going to happen, really nice there. But key areas to really be looking out for, again, is going to be the top side of this channel for resistance. Okay, ideally what I would like is this sort of micro uptrend to just continue. I would like that to just continue to the upside, and then maybe once we clear this, clear the top side of this Fibonacci band, we see a nice bit of a breakout. Probably not setting highs at 67k, but still we could catch a nice move from 65.9 up to around 66.6. Okay, so there's a few things on the cards there to really actually be looking out for here for Bitcoin overall on the shorter term time frame. In terms of chart patterns, guys, there's nothing too crazy that we can be referencing. Obviously, double top scenario here on the 1 hour, and that does usually mean reversal coming through, so that is something that we could see, and something that I was really looking at yesterday. That's why I was staying very cautious here for Bitcoin just in general. But you can see we've actually found a nice level of support there, so it does look like the double top scenario here isn't going to be as valid as it should be here. Because sometimes when you see a double top scenario like so, you actually see us have the complete full scale reversal, right? Which it wouldn't surprise me having a massive trap like this for Bitcoin in this current market after the halving, after major ETFs. But right now it doesn't actually look like that is going to be happening, okay? Which is a good sign, Moving on to the midterm time frame here for Bitcoin, and let's review where we're at overall. So you can see the VRVP starting off with that. The point of control is actually down at around 63,000. This is where a massive level of support is sort of going to be held up in terms of volatility here. And you can see again that we do have another massive level down at around 64. So this is sort of a sign here that it's quite unlikely for us to break this area to the downside today. I would expect quite a strong bounce if we do get down there. So it is overall looking like quite bullish overall here on the sort of midterm time frame. We will go into the QI very, very shortly here, but there's a few things I do want to reference before that. So again, we've got the hourly volume weighted ATR band that is creeping up, and usually, guys, when we do see us lose this, and yeah, sorry, when we do see us lose this, sometimes we do see a quite rapid continuation to the downside. The fact that we've already come up and tested it again is sort of the inclination that we're probably going to flirt around it, okay? Flirt around it to the upside, which is a bullish sign here for Bitcoin just in general to see that, okay? Now, let's talk chart patterns. Let's talk trend lines here for Bitcoin today on the midterm time frame. You can see, obviously, we do have a very strong trend line coming up. If we are going to see us have a dump down or sideways action until we hit this trend line, that's still going to be around 64, 63. So these are still very strong areas to be looking out for there. And in terms of momentum, in terms of bounce points from these zones, you can see, and I will go into momentum in a second, guys, but you can see that on the Quantum Insight, but you can see the momentum actually from this trend line can be quite reactive and has been continually growing in terms of a response, in terms of price action, right? So you can see 13.5% there on average. You can see 4% there after deciding to try and break it for a while, and then 7% there after this nice little test, okay? So obviously this was CPI figures as well. But it does show, if we do come down to this area around 63.5, that there's going to be quite a clean bounce point, okay? You've got the point of control, you've got this trend line coming up with momentum. You've also got, jumping to the QI quickly, guys, you've also got a really nice momentum trend line coming up like so. And as you can see, looking really, really, really strong there overall for a potential bounce. And this essentially shows when we've got momentum at an overextended level here at minus 66, and then you can see these levels are actually getting smaller. So this is measuring the momentum to the downside here, and the fact that this is the momentum to the downside is slowing down and getting getting weaker, if you will. It shows that the bounce points are getting stronger, okay? So it's a good sign, and the fact that we are breaking momentum to the upside with certainty. Again, you can see this was previously overextended with momentum to the upside, the pullback, and what do you know, we've actually broken that to the upside yet again here for the most recent wave, and that basically shows momentum to the upside is growing, which is good to see. Now, in terms of short term, obviously this is the midterm time frame, guys. What I would be expecting here is Bitcoin to sort of potentially trickle down for a bit here, probably come down to around 65, maybe even 64.7, and then when we do see this this area sort of get tapped here, we're going to have stochastic that's come down, to these sorts of levels. We're going to have stochastic crossover on the 4-hour. We're going to have a momentum move to the upside yet again, which is going to be very, very good. And overall, the bounce is going to be quite profitable if we can get involved with that. Now, if that isn't going to happen and the test isn't going to prevail and the support isn't going to be there, which I highly doubt in this sort of market, it's looking quite bullish here. But if that doesn't happen, then there is going to be quite a clean short position down. Okay, there's going to be quite a clean short position down, which will be us losing essentially these the Fibonacci bands that we were talking about at the start of the stream there. And you can see when we lose these top bands, let's see here. You can see when we lose these top bands, it's quite reactive. Okay, it's quite reactive to the downside here. So we need to be very, very vigilant here. Not so much there because we were in an uptrend, but when we lose it to the downside, it's quite reactive to the downside. Okay, so again, you can see massive level of support there. Test, really nice, really nice. And then you can see we lost it here, tested to the upside, that retrace, and then massive dumps, okay? So basically, if that momentum point isn't going to hold here on the 4-hour, on the midterm, on the QI, then we basically know that we're looking for a nice, probably quite smooth, clean move down here to probably around 63, 62K, probably down to around that point of control area. So yeah, overall, that would be the analysis here for the midterm and yeah, the short term and the midterm. One thing I do want to touch on very quickly, guys, is my macro TA right now is stupidly bullish, may I add, just because it's all lining up to explode here, and we will go through that very, very briefly. I know I'm kind of sounding like a broken record here, the amount of times that I talk about this throughout the week, and that's why we've cut the streams down. But yeah, we'll go through that very shortly. It's a nice vegetable drink. Got to get the vitamins in. But yeah, you can see here, momentum and stochastic here on the weekly chart, weekly time frame is looking very, very good. And what I mean by that, guys, you can see we do have a money flow trend line. Okay, so these circles that you can see here, all these little tiny circles, they are money flow, and you can see this is the start of the trend line, this is the start of the move, the support, and we're just about to test that area right now. What is interesting about this is the fact that this happened in the previous cycle, okay, the previous bull market after the halving. So these blue lines here, this is the halving date and when it happened, and what we're sort of looking out for there is that money flow trend line. Oh, you can't see, my head's in the way. The money flow trend line here coming up, and that support being formed in correlation with the stochastic crossover on the weekly, okay? In correlation with the stochastic crossover on the weekly. Those two things at the same time after the halving. Well, basically, you can see, I'm not going to go into too much detail on this, guys, because we did this at the start of the week, but you can see after that, that basically started the massive run. So that's essentially what we're looking for here after the halving. You can see stochastic is basically super close to a crossover here, which would be amazing. And if we do see this crossover, if we do see a bit more bullish momentum to end this week in the next sort of 2 days or so, which is 2 days and 19 hours, if we see bullish momentum coming through for Bitcoin, then it's very likely we do see that bullish crossover on the weekly stochastic for Bitcoin in correlation with this level of support on the money flow after the halving. I mean, I'm not going to say that we're going to explode to 100K, but we should see a massive, massive leg up here for Bitcoin. All-time highs will be on the cards if that does come into fruition. So sort of what we're waiting for here is these next 2 days and 19 hours, okay? So it's sort of what the weekend will bring. If we do see this crossover come into fruition there, then super, super bullish on Bitcoin, and I will be entering some very nice longs to end the weekend here when we do see that 2 days and 19 hours. And hey, even if you're entering your longs here, if they're very wide and you're not like massively over leveraged here, you can make a decent amount of profit here, because if we're talking market structure, you can see obviously confirmed higher low. The most recent confirmed higher low for Bitcoin is all the way down at 38,000. It's super low, okay? So there is actually we can swing down for Bitcoin 40% and still be in a bullish market structure, guys. So just take that into consideration. The unconfirmed higher low that we do currently have is actually here at 56,600. That's the unconfirmed higher low. As soon as we break all-time highs, that's going to be a confirmed higher low, and that's basically the next strong market structure point that we can be looking out for there. Another thing I did want to touch on very quickly, guys, like I did on Wednesday, is this bull market barrier, guys. The bull market barrier determines whether we're in a bull market or a bear market. As you can see, very strong, very blue. We're seeing massive, massive levels of support. The area that I do want to talk about here is this central point of this channel. Let's look at that in previous price action, guys. The central point of the channel is very reactive, okay? It's very reactive in terms of support and resistance. So we need to be very vigilant for that, especially in bull cycles, okay? So if we just zoom back quickly, you can see how reactive this was every single time we had a pullback. Back in 2016, okay? So you can see that central point is used as a very, very, very reactive point that we can't overlook that, okay? Because it's data that that is very, very, very true. So if Bitcoin is going to dump, okay? If we're going to see a pullback here for Bitcoin and this is going to be a fake out, and we're not going to start the cycle this week, and I'm completely wrong, and it is what it is. But what we are going to be looking for is a very nice long off this area around 55,400. If the bullish momentum is going to continue, guys, we can still use this central zone as it's creeping up here, because this will actually get significantly higher in 2 days and 19 hours, right? Because it will be printing more of this chart pattern, okay? And it is obviously in a bullish structure. So we could probably estimate around 56.1, maybe 56.6, where the current low is currently at. And if that is the case, then good stuff. It looks like we'll bounce heavily off that point in the future. So yeah, overall pretty good for Bitcoin here on the midterm time frame, and sorry, the long-term time frame, and that is going to be the analysis. I mean, we've got this parallel channel to the upside as well, and you can see we do have the tests, we do have the resistance, there, and the initial break point, and we're currently on a retest. So statistically, retests are very bullish, and we could see a measure move for Bitcoin break to the upside now and sit us at around $108,000. It's likely, it can happen. So if the TA is going to play out like we are hoping here for Bitcoin on stochastic, on money flow, on momentum, everything's sort of lining up here for a nice big run, then the target for that would be 109,000, 108,000. Yeah, so it's 109,000 there. So maybe I'll move that down ever so slightly. Yeah, line up. 108,500. That's going to be the target there for this move to the upside. Obviously, we've got all-time highs. We've got many things to think about there. But yeah, that's going to be Bitcoin TA. Let's get deep down and dirty into some altcoins today. So make sure you get your altcoin requests in the chat, and we will start breaking down some charts together. Oh, just going to finish off my juice drink here, and then we're going to get into the cup of tea. Lovely stuff. I do want to look at Bitcoin dominance and CME gaps today as well, guys, because obviously it is Friday. So it's better to get deep down and dirty into that. And exchange reserve is coming down again. Some on-chain stuff quickly. That's obviously bullish, guys. Exchange whale ratio is it's creeping up a little bit, but nothing too crazy here. That is delayed as well, guys. So can't really get much data on that. But overall, it's quite choppy. It is in a downtrend. So basically, the whales are not manipulating as much. Estimated leverage ratio. How much of you dirty degens are getting into your leverage positions? As you can see, that this has actually come down so far yesterday. So it basically means less positions are being open. I do want to touch on liquidation levels, guys, because really itchy nose. Because there's some very interesting stuff on liquidation levels that we need to be going through today. I'm just going to jump to the chat quickly because I saw it moving in the corner of my eye. So yeah, I'll say hello to some people and see how we're doing. We've got a sub-floor dweller coming through saying, hello, I made it. Nice to see you on the stream there. We've got Neil coming through. It's been a while, Neil. It's been a while. Hope you were well. We got Stephen Sainsbury as well as Marwan as well. And ICP. Everyone wants ICP coming through, okay? So yeah, I'm sure we can do that. Just quickly before we carry on, guys, this stream is sponsored by BYDFi, okay, this exchange, and I've been wanting to, I've been asking them to get a promotion basically for you guys to sign up to the exchange, and if you sign up, you basically get a bonus. We had to organize it with them, so I wanted to basically showcase this to you guys. It's an exchange I've partnered up with now. I'm not going to share too much, but this is the deal that we've structured with them, guys. So basically, if you register and just trade any amount, you get $20 free. If you deposit $50, you get $30. This is great. You deposit $1,000 and you hit trading volume of $100,000. So if you think, if you put on $1,000 trade at 100x leverage, that is going to be basically $100,000, right, in volume. And then you're going to receive $200 in a bonus, right? So you could basically, you could place the trade, like enter and then close, and then you get the $200 like gift card thing, right? Trading vouchers. So yeah, it's a very, very good deal, guys. If you want to just go basically farm some bonuses, if you want to do that, link is in the description. All good stuff. And it's a really, really great exchange as well. But yeah, enough of that. Let's get into liquidation levels here for Bitcoin, because this is a very interesting data. And CoinGlass is not working today. What's going on there? Oh, there we go. There she is. And now we are live. Good stuff. So you can see here that the prominent liquidation levels here for Bitcoin are actually to the upside, which is a bullish sign, because that means if the whales are going to be manipulating it, they're going to be pushing it to the upside, okay? And the levels that are really prominent here are actually highs for this current move here for Bitcoin, which is interesting because it basically says, and is posing the inclination that we're looking for a test again to the upside of around 66,700, okay? And the liquidation levels for that 66,9, 67, okay? So did we get as high as 67 previously? I'm pretty sure we did. Oh, we didn't. No, we didn't here on the Bybit chart. So that is an inclination that we're basically looking for a new high in this sort of micro uptrend here, which is another bullish sign here. So maybe we see a leg up to 69 here with the 4-hour volume weighted ATR band. Who knows? But yeah, in terms of liquidation levels to be looking out for there, guys, a lot of people are short right now. This is sort of the target, and we're not really that far away from it, okay? So it's quite easy for us to hit that. Definitely information that you should be looking out for here today. Fear and Greed Index. No go, daddy. Go away. Best pool villas in Koh Samui. Yeah, that's a lovely ad. Let's go there. Good stuff. Fear and Greed Index looking at around 74 today. So people are greedy, and that is a sign that people, well, the whales are going to be manipulating the price. So be aware, it is Friday. And we have seen on Friday that usually we see a bit of a Thursday dump on average. And now usually we see a Thursday dump and then a recovery on Friday and a bit of a pump on Friday coming into the weekend. So ideally in this market, it would be nice to see a nice pump for Bitcoin to the upside. What else are we looking at? We were looking at CME gaps, and we were looking for Bitcoin dominance. So Bitcoin dominance is still unfortunately creeping up, guys. So your altcoins aren't ready to explode just yet. I mean, a few of them will start to trickle up, but we're not going to see altcoins really start moving on their own on the basis that the Bitcoin dominance is still going to be creeping up like it is as so, right? So just be aware for that. CME gaps, in reference to the Bitcoin dominance, guys, if we look back to the previous cycle, like the previous bull market here, you can see essentially what happened. Massive dump to the downside. This is when your altcoins started doing 30, 20% in a day here. And you can see we're actually rising up. So your altcoins are not ready to sort of start exploding yet. Now, looking at Bitcoin CME futures here, you can see that the CME gap that we do currently have is down at around 60,000 and up to around 61,000. So that's still not filled. We haven't got a new one yet for this week, but it'd be interesting to see if we do pump up beforehand and then close the CME gap and then dump down for the weekend, fill this gap, and then come back up, or something along the lines of that, right? So yeah, definitely a place to be looking out for there on the CME chart. But yeah, let's get into this altcoin mayhem. Let's break this down. I did want to break down near today. Is that crypto chart? That is. Is that crypto chart as well? That is. Okay, so I've got two of the same chart open. Well done, Chester. Good stuff. Can I get you guys music today? Apologies if I didn't. I think we got some music now. Hopefully it's working. All good. And Bitcoin is taking a little move to the upside right now. Very micro, but a move nonetheless. Completely wrong charting tool there. Come on, let's get back to live price. Here we go. Okay, so we're coming up to test this volume weighted ATR band again on the hourly. Interesting stuff. It's going to be very rare for us to break this to the upside, guys. Just FYI, I would expect short-term resistance after this move. But yeah, let's do some altcoin requests. If you are in India, then check Indian project Gary Network. Every goddamn day, someone's promoting Gary Network on my stream. Every day. Gary Network is the chart that I would never buy. It's like the worst chart. I do not endorse that project at all. It's basically the chart. I'm not going to bring up the chart, but the chart is just wicks to the upside, and then so any buy just gets dumped on. So it's just, in my opinion, it looks like a scam. I don't know the fundamentals, but the chart looks like a scam. Okay, let's have a look. We've got ICP is the main request that I can see from Neil. So we're going to jump to ICP to start us off, and then we're going to do a bit of NEAR. ICP. That's not on my watch list. Why is that not on my watch list? Alright, it's the wrong watch list. Makes sense. I'm on the wrong chart. That makes sense as well. Okay, let's type this in instead. ICP, USDT. We're going to be doing a bit of buy bit. And very bullish on ICP just overall, guys. It's a great project. It was just over... What's the word? Over-exaggerated? At the start, when it launched, there was high hopes for it and overfunded. Yeah, it was ridiculously overfunded. Jumped in at billions and billions of dollar market cap after the pre-sale, and the world just wasn't ready for the blockchain adoption side of things there, and that's why we're currently priced at around $12. So yeah, I mean, it's an interesting point actually where we are on this chart. We will go into that. I just want to sort of break this down from a market structure perspective to start us off here. Okay, so market structure, we're going to be looking at this as the low point here for ICP, and then we're going to be building higher lows and higher highs throughout this, and seeing the key levels that we need to be looking out for here. So clearly this is going to be a higher low. The reasoning for that is because it's a significant pullback after breaking that high. It's confirmed because we break that high again. You can see the break of structure coming through there. That's confirming this as the higher low. The next pullback zone that we can see is this point here, and you can see after that we did break that high just there. So this is a confirmed higher low as well. And then after this high, you can see significant pullback, and then we broke that high again, break of structure. So this is the confirmed higher low point there as well. Good stuff. Now after this high, we actually haven't broke that high to the upside just yet, guys. So essentially what that does mean is the market structure higher low level, the most important level for this asset right now, is currently sat at around $10.56. A very important level here, because if we lose that level to the downside, it's quite likely that we do see a reversal of the trend, and then we're going to be looking at lower highs and lower lows scenarios. Okay, but right now this chart is in a bullish market macro structure, and it is looking pretty good overall. And yeah, it's actually pretty good. We did see one test to the downside, testing that higher low at $10.55, but you can see the momentum and the support that we did get from that point was really quite strong here. So yeah, let's get into this, and let's break this down and see if we can find some sort of trade here for ICP over the next sort of day or so here. We're going to be starting off on the macro and then jumping down to the micro here. So I'm here today to give you an update on ICP. We've broken down the market structure here. You can see the lowest point is $2.80. The higher low points, $8.40, $9.50, $10.50 there as well. And now let's look at some Fibonacci, because the Fibonacci swing low here to swing high, the retracement levels that we need to be very cautious of here, guys, is the 0.236, the 0.382, and the 0.5. The reasoning why we have to be very cautious for these is because, you know what the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement means? It essentially means the confirmation of the reversal of the trend. And as you can see, as we discussed, we're in a bullish market structure here. And if you look at the 0.5, after coming down quite significantly, the testing on this area is very strong and very prominent. Yes, massive levels of support are looking good here, and it is looking very strong. And the fact that we have held support here shows that we are holding that bullish market structure, and there's no confirmation of the reversal just yet, okay? The real confirmation I would be looking for here is losing the 0.5, losing this trend line here, which we will go through very, very shortly, and also losing market structure. If we start closing candles below $10.45, then I probably would expect big reversals here for ICP, just essentially testing these very, very crucial levels of market structure before potentially breaking here. I don't think that's going to happen. Really, it's quite unlikely to see ICP really dump 30% right now after seeing a significant retracement here from this high of this market of around 50% already, right? So it's quite unlikely that we do see ICP sort of tumble down off a cliff. Let's talk about this chart pattern. Let's talk about this this level of support, and let's talk about momentum from this area, because there's actually a really nice buying zone that we can be looking out for here today, and we are going to get into that. So let's look at this this trend line to start off with. You can see levels of support, levels of support, levels of support. Near enough got it there. Levels of support and potentially levels of support here. Okay, so we've got many tests along this area, and let's look at momentum from this area to see what we can actually gauge and see how strong the support actually is. So you can see it's straight up to the top side of this parallel channel pretty much every time that we do see this come into fruition here. So it is quite chunky. We haven't seen it in the last wave, unfortunately. Didn't quite get that high, but still it was a massive bounce that did consist of around 44%. So overall, it is very bullish from this area, and you're probably thinking, oh, we're currently sat on that area right now. We've tested this to the lower side. It's been bullish every single time. We're on the Fibonacci 0.5. Is there a trade, Chester? You're goddamn right there's a trade. Let's break this down. I'm not going to be jumping into this right away, because again, we have tested this many times, guys. There is a likelihood that we could break this to the downside, so we need to be very vigilant for that. But what I would be looking out for here is a potential breakout scenario, just using this high as a reference point, okay? So right now, we're not currently in any sort of position for this, and the reasoning for that is because we haven't broke this area. Now, in the next sort of day, 2 days, maybe 3 days or so, if we flirt around this area, or we just have candle body close at open essentially, and it flatlines in this zone, we're going to be breaking this level of resistance, which is very strong. You can see this level of resistance, which we've tested, what, 6 times there. We're going to be breaking that resistance, so there will be a breakout to the upside. We're also going to be using the momentum from this trend line, okay, for a move to the upside. We're also going to be using the Fibonacci 0.5 support level. Again, very strong indeed. And we got market structure on our side as well. So that's just a few things to say that we're going to have quite a clean, nice move for ICP. Now the big question is, how high is this move going to be? Okay, let's break this down and let's see how high this move could potentially be for ICP here. So the clear and obvious move is going to be between the Fibonacci, okay, the 0.5 to the 0.382, which is worth around 17%. And you can see there's a quite high chance that we do that. And between this area, it does actually mean it's quite smooth just overall. The safest way to trade crypto, in my opinion, is staggering your take profits throughout a position. And instead of setting 1 take profit and 1 stop loss, you want to set 4 take profits and 1 stop loss. And once you hit your first stop loss, once you hit your first take profit, you move your stop loss to your entry point, and then you're sat there in a risk-free position, okay? If you get stopped out, your stop loss is at your entry point, okay? So you don't lose anything. You've actually already taken profit on 25% of your position, and you're already winning, okay? It's better to sit back in your chair and be in a risk-free trade than being in a trade that you can lose money, okay? So, yeah, that's what I would say about that. Let's break that down for ICP. So the move to the upside would probably consist, let's just keep it quite simple here, and let's keep our stop loss below that swing that we did see testing the market structure. So that is going to be at around $10.23, and then our overall take profit could be set at around 0.382. Okay, this is just purely just a guess right now for our entry point. Obviously, it's not live, but this is just something that we can potentially predict in the future. So it's going to be around a 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio for this position, guys. Now we basically need to stagger 4 take profits along this area. And let's do that. So in terms of an entry point, we can get in around this area. So candle body closes from this point usually are quite strong. Let's see how big the waves are to the upside and see if there's a correlative point here from this. So let's extend this Fibonacci along here, and let's look at candle body closes above it. So candle body close above it there, we actually saw a dump to the downside, which is pretty bearish. Candle body close there, went straight the way up. Candle body close there. That's a point of relevance. And then you can see, so that's a point of relevance to be looking out for there. Candle body close here, straight up. Candle body close here. We went up to that area after testing that as well. Candle body close here, straight up again. Candle body close, straight up again. Candle body close, straight up again. Candle body close, straight up again. And again, all over here as well, guys. So overall, that is looking pretty good as a first TP for us to be looking out for there, around $12.47. That would be the first one I would plot in there, which is essentially the most important one there. And after that, let's just bang in some levels here. You can see massive levels of resistance there along this area. And again, it can just run. It can easily just run, but we need to basically be quite vigilant here for these points essentially, right? So there you go. There's your 4 TPs. Yeah, there's your 4 TPs. That's what I would be looking for. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor, guys. Please do your own research before jumping into any positions here. Let's look at the quantum insight and see what that is saying. You can see that we've actually seen momentum here, which is very interesting. We've obviously got very low points in momentum, which is a very bullish sign. We've got the AI triangles as well. And you can see that we didn't actually get as low as we did previously in this momentum. So this essentially means that essentially this is a bullish signal, okay? This is a bullish signal for a move to the upside from this point here, actually. So you can see we have had bullish momentum. So ideally, this is actually looking, again, very strong in our favor for another move to the upside here. Let's jump down to the 4-hour, see what we're looking at for there. Again, we've got smooth money flow to the downside. Very strong stuff. That's all these circles here. You can see momentum, again, is slowing down. We're getting higher. The downside momentum is getting higher, which means it's getting weaker. Now, the next point to really be looking out for there is this coming down, getting this AI crossover, getting the reversal coming through like that. Stochastic being nice and low like we have seen here. As you can see, it's coming down. This position is lining itself up pretty goddamn perfectly. I'm quite excited about this one. Really nice. Really super clean there. Okay, so yeah, that is going to be your update on ICP. Let me know whether you liked it. Drop a like on it if you do, guys. And of course, let me know in the comment section if you're going to be getting involved with this. And yeah, what do you think of my TA? That's what I want to know. And if you're new to the channel, guys, make sure you hit the subscribe button, notification bell on, and you're never going to miss one of my uploads. It's as simple as that. Bye for now. I'll see you in the next one. Yes, I recorded a video on that, so that will be live on the channel later if you guys want to watch that back. Let's jump to the chat quickly and see how we're all doing. We've got Disclosure Crypto coming through. We've got Dave P. We've got Taran. We've got Mr. Miles coming through. It's been a while, Mr. Miles, I think. Donna as well. Nice to see you all on the stream, guys. And if you do want to join our Telegram family, link is in the description. We've got a lovely Telegram chat, and we're all in there every single day. Good stuff. Let's move on to NEAR. I do want to do an update on NEAR, because I'm pretty bullish on NEAR just overall. I do think we're pretty much primed for another leg up here. It's a very bullish asset. The measure move here is still very strong up to this top side, and yeah, I do think NEAR has got pretty good upside potential here. But we will do an update on it, and we will try and go into a lot more detail here. And this was the previous buy zone that we spoke about. So clearly very good. Unconfirmed higher low. Yeah, okay, let's get into this. I'm here today to give you an update on NEAR, bit of NEAR protocol coming through. What we're going to be doing here, we're going to be going through this from a technical analysis perspective, looking at potential buying areas, potential trade areas, and sort of a price prediction as to where we think this could be going over the next week or so. Okay, so without further ado, let's get straight into it. If you like the content, smash a like on it, all that good stuff there. Looking at market structure to start us off here for NEAR, you can see that the market structure is obviously bullish. It's a really nice uptrend. These are all the confirmed high lows that we do have. The most recent unconfirmed high low that we do have for NEAR actually sits down at around $4.18 there, which is unfortunately quite a long way down from where we're currently at. I'm talking a 48% retracement. Even if we retrace 48%, we're still in a bullish market structure, so just be aware for that. We could do that. I don't think we're going to do that. I'm very bullish on there, and I think we've got massive upside to be taken advantage of here, and I will go through as to why. But yeah, overall, that would be the market structure summed up there. Let's talk Fibonacci before we go any further, guys. Swing low to swing high coming through from here. You can see the Fibonacci retracements are plotted in on my chart here. 0.236, 0.382, and the 0.5. The 0.5 signifies whether there's going to be a strong reversal of the trend. You can see we came down, we tested that. We got the support. We got crowdfunding support there, banging near, straight the way back up, looking for a very strong macro V-shaped recovery here, looking really strong overall. Yep, just referencing Fibonacci. Recently, with the Bitcoin pump, we did see there was quite a lot of resistance at this point here, guys. You can see getting shoved down continuously along the 0.236 Fibonacci. And from this point, it's actually very bullish because you can see we've actually broke this high here, guys. We've got the high coming through and we've broke it really nice. You can see basically inverted head and shoulders chart pattern, basically sending us to the goddamn moon again, right? So I do think there's a lot of things lined up here for NEAR to have that continuation to the upside. The fundamentals behind NEAR very strong as well. Now, obviously, bull flag scenario. This is the measure move for the bull flag. Taking it somewhat like that. We've got the break, we've got the retest. We're moving that measure move from the retest break point. This will be the top side here, and the target price for that measure move to be completed is around $8.57. So that would be the point to really be looking out for there for the resistance. So let's just take the horizontal and put that up there for the resistance to basically play out. You can see this has actually formed heavy resistance previously. So in terms of like a short-term move to the upside, I probably would expect NEAR to just sort of send here. Would expect NEAR to sort of send up for around 4.79% quite easily here. Having the continuation of the trend, it's looking really quite strong. One thing I do want to, I don't think it's going to just explode, but we have to be vigilant of other trend lines in the mix here. And what I mean by that is essentially what I'm doing on the chart here. You can see, oh, okay. That makes a bit more sense, okay? I was thinking that it was going to be a bit more like down here, okay? And yeah, it's not quite there. So it's actually like up here is the main sort of trend line, which does line up pretty perfectly with this this top side measure move completion as well. So yeah, that's another sign that we're going to be heading up to that sort of level. If you look at momentum from this trend line, upward sloping trend line to the upside, you can see very strong. Usually coming up and tapping this top side. So yeah, NEAR is looking very good overall for continuation. Quite impressed here. Let's look at the quantum insight on the 4-hour and see what we're working with there. So stochastic on the daily is pretty high. We haven't seen the curl over happen just yet, but it is pretty high and momentum is getting there as well. So it's slightly worrying, but you can see the momentum point that we do have to break here. It's ridiculously high, so it's quite unlikely that we do come up and test that. But basically, this is signifying that we will probably have continuation here, that we have broke these clear momentum levels. And the fact that we were in a declining momentum sort of state, as you can see here, we broke this high, and then we actually set a new little low here. So, okay, we set a low, and we broke that low to the upside. So it does show that the momentum is in a progressive stance to the upside, and that does basically give us a bit more confidence that we're going to see us come up. But what I would say here is that this is basically primed up for a pullback, guys. So just be aware, 855 is going to be the pullback zone for NEAR. It looks very strong overall. And the pullback is probably going to be quite strong considering that we do have this momentum point here as well. As long as we don't break this to the upside, then there's going to be a really nice potential short position down as well from this area. Okay, so I probably would be banking on that really. Rather than longing NEAR now, it's a bit too late in the entry. I would be more inclined for a lovely short here. And then just simply having like, let me just, is that not working now? There we go. And then just simply having some sort of stop loss above this high here. It's the higher high that I'm talking about on the right hand side. And then just sort of doing probably a 1-to-1 position here. That's very quite likely to sort of play out if you are looking for a short position here on NEAR protocol. Yeah, so overall looking pretty good on NEAR, let's say. Not too bad. Let me know if you guys like that update on NEAR. Drop a like on it, and in the comment section, let me know what you think. And if you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. I'm streaming Monday, Wednesday, and Friday as well. And yeah, that's going to be your update on NEAR. Peace out. I'll see you in the next one. Okay, good stuff. Inverse head and shoulders. Yeah, exactly. Inverse head and shoulders. I just saw that in the chat, Mr. Miles. It's been a while. You kept streaming like 3 AM my time. Apologies, man. Apologies. ADA is on the move, is it? Should we have a little look? Doesn't look to be on the move. I mean, it is actually, yeah, over the last couple of days. That's the measure move for ADA. Market structure is looking pretty goddamn weak for ADA, I won't lie, from a bullish market structure standpoint. But, keep that. But, yeah, you're not wrong. It's finding support where it is, which is quite nice. And the fact that we're back over this higher low is, again, very bullish. And you're in a breakout scenario as well. So let's drop down a time frame and let's sort of break this down together. Yeah, that's going to be the prominent trend line. Getting as many touches as possible here along this point. In terms of the breakout, it's not that prominent. You could do something like this, but it's not as valid. It wouldn't be as valid as that other trend line. So, oh God, I'm really holding off a sneeze right now. Come on, stay strong. Yeah, there's a point of resistance to be referencing here, and that is going to be between this ranging period. You can see we have had quite a lot of consolidation here on the 4 hour between 42 cents and 47 cents. So just be aware the resistance from this point can be quite strong here. So if you are long in ADA or anything like that, then there is a point to be looking for a potential TP at 47.52. But overall, micro ADA is actually looking really, really quite nice here compared to the rest of the market. Could be a break to the upside as well here. Now we have seen this parallel channel prevail quite a lot here, and if that break is going to happen, this would be what we're sort of looking for here. That does put you up to another level here. This would be the level that I would be concerned about. Again, massive. I'm talking big dog resistance from this zone. Okay, so yeah, just be vigilant for that as well for ADA if you are going to be getting involved with that. Should bring up volume weighted ATR bands and let's have a little look. I need my fix. Come on, Chester. Funny stuff from Mr. Miles. Great sense of humor, man. Let's break down this. Let's get rid of Fibonacci retracements and let's look at volume weighted ATR bands quickly. Get rid of that as well. Yes, so let's jump down to this. This is interesting because we've got the 60-minute is on in a digressionary stance. You've got the 15-minute in a progressionary stance as well as the 5-minute. So usually when you're in a progressionary stance, you run it up basically, and that is what's happening. Resistance is very strong at the 60-minute volume weighted ATR band. So if we bring back the TA, yeah, so that's not good. Yeah, that's sort of a sign that you're probably going to see resistance coming through. Quite early on, actually. Not saying that you're going to be slamming all the way down here, but it's quite likely you do see resistance coming through from this point, and sort of the average amount of resistance that you do get from this point in terms of momentum is probably, yeah, something along the lines of this, guys. So pullback zones, 3%. I'm not saying this is going to happen. There's a chance that it could happen, so just be aware. Around 3.5% there for ADA to potentially be pulling back there. So yeah, overall, interesting chart there for ADA. What was next? Should we look at the chat? Do a bit of bonk. Why not? Let's do a bit of bonk. Haven't looked at the bonk chart in a hot minute. In a hot minute, man. Let's do it. Bit of a dump to the downside. This tea is getting disgustingly cold. Disgustingly cold. Okay, so we've got symmetrical triangle chart pattern at the top of this move. I would say just straight away. Just looking at the chart. Let's draw that in. It usually means a move to the upside. If you can hold this level of support. If you don't, there's probably a nice move to the downside. And just looking at these volume-weighted ATR bands here, you've actually got quite a free-falling period worth around 10% here for bonks. If you do lose this area as a level of support, then a nice free fall worth 10% is potentially on the cards there for a nice short position. Not too bad, I'd say. Not too bad to make some money anyway. Let's zoom in a bit. I mean, yeah, this chart pattern's been going on for a month or so now, so a breakout would be nice. Be aware there is trap zones as well, guys. You don't want to be going for that 1 TP. You want to be staggering those take profits as you come down here. See actually where that is candle open as well. Yeah, so just be aware for bonk. There is a potential short position there for a free fall. But again, you wanna just be vigilant here for your entry because we do have that trap zone there. Taquitos. Not what I want. Okay, we'll do CAS. Let's have a look at the CAS chart. We'll do Mexi. UTA. It's taking long. Okay, let me reassure Mr. Miles here because this is looking goddamn good. Now, what I would say is here, when you do see quite a strong downtrend like so, and let me just clear off a few indicators, it's better for you guys. When you do see a downtrend coming down like so, setting lows, the real point to be looking out for there is sort of the micro lower highs that you were setting, and the fact that it was quite violent to the downside. You can see what's happening. It's getting less violent and more of the momentum of the downside is dying, okay? And if we bring up the quantum insight, that's just what I'm looking for the chart. And you can see the quantum insight, you've got mass momentum, and it's basically getting smaller here. Not so much on this wave down, but still overall it's getting smaller and momentum to the upside is growing, okay? So this is a bullish sign for Casper overall, which is a good sign here, Mr. Miles. I bet you're very, very happy. Market structure, higher low, is down at around 9 cents. So, overall there, sorry if you can hear my dog going crazy. Yeah, overall there, Casper is looking pretty good for a reversal here, which is probably music to your ears, Mr. Miles. Let's bring up volume weighted ATR bands and let's jump down a time frame because I want to see if we've got some trades here to potentially be executing today. This is something that would be concerning to me, the fact that we're flirting along the side of this right now. Lovely cheeky horizontal banger in there. Why not? Ascending triangle to the upside. Yes, please. I mean, it's not the nicest in the world. It's actually pretty terrible. But a break to the upside would be quite nice. Could be doing something instead like that. Last time we had momentum on this trend line, it was quite big. We have repeated ourselves there. Maybe we see continuation like we have seen here. And overall, it's not looking too shabby. In terms of a trade, it's not looking that great. I can't see anything that's really jumping out at me. Last one, YFI. Okay, we'll do YFI afterwards. Yeah, nothing really too prominent here in terms of a trade for Casper. But just on the macro, it's looking like it's going to curl over and head up to the upside here. 13 cents. And then there could be, yeah, what I would be looking for here is basically to be as patient as possible. Probably looking for the next sort of 7 days or so. You could be looking for a nice breakout to the upside worth around 7.5%. If this, what that noise was. So weird. I don't know if you guys heard it. I've got noise cancellation off, but it's like construction or something going on. It was a very, very weird noise. Like someone banging another metal pole against another. Like some weird stuff. But yeah. Anyway, let's talk about this. So you can see, obviously, we're breaking lows here. What I want to see is breaking these clear points of resistance here. That's going to be the next point to be looking out for there. If you break that, because you have tested that 3 times already, then there is going to be a clean move from the 60-minute volume weighted ATR band up to the 4-hour volume weighted ATR band worth around 7.5 percentages there. Let's have a little look. Have you heard of the 3 mountains, the castle, and the river chart? I have not. I have not. There is many different chart patterns. For example, cup and handle scenario. Like, there's loads, and like a lot of these don't work. And or they'll work like 30% of the time, and people will be like, oh, cup and handle chart pattern, and everyone will just, like, the newbies will be like, oh, I've got a long now. It's just like, yeah, you gotta weigh up. It's all about data. Having as much data as possible is the best way to have successful positions. I can only hear your voice, says Donna. Okay, that's good. That's good. Let's look at Wi-Fi, and let's go from there. Sonoda requested a Polkadot. Is that beeping coming from his stream, my head, or outside? Do Wi-Fi very quickly, and then I'll do Polkadot very quickly as well, because it is getting to an hour. Got 2 minutes. Let's bang out these coins. Symmetrical triangle chart pattern at the bottom of a downtrend for Wi-Fi. Usually a bearish pennant chart pattern. That's what it means. It usually means continuation to the downside. Don't have market structure plotted in for this asset right now, but this is what we would be looking for here. Super, super simple there. It usually means a continuation to the downside, but the fact that you have compressed inside of this chart pattern means the move isn't going to be that big, probably worth around 3.77% coming down to this sort of average here, maybe a little bit more, around 4.19%. You can see support from that area. Super strong. So yeah, overall not looking too bad for a nice trade there. Let's bring in volume weighted ATR bands. 60-minute, 15-minute. Yeah, I would say this is probably the nicest sort of trade here, around 2.75% between that position there, between that measure move and down to the 60-minute, and then bouncing from that point. That's sort of what I would be going for there. Let's look at momentum here. Momentum is slowing down. Just over. Did we get the retracement to 0? No, we didn't get the retracement to 0, so that's actually not valid just yet. So this is still in the same momentum wave. We need to get the retracement to the 0 point on the QI, and then we look for the next sort of wave down. That is what determines the strength of the momentum, and unfortunately we can't get a gauge on that right now on the daily because we haven't had a strong enough reversal. But it does mean, the fact that we haven't had a strong enough reversal means that we don't have enough bullish momentum to get there, so it is technically a bearish sign. But yeah, let's move on to DOT. And I've definitely got that on my watch list. This watch list anyway. Dotty boy. Okay, let's have a little look. Let's get rid of that. And let's have a little look. I'd say ascending triangle. Yeah, ascending triangle off the bat is what we're sort of looking out for here. Could be something along the lines of that. Upward sloping parallel, upward sloping trend line. You can see the move to the upside, very, very strong. The prominent horizontal, probably something along the lines of this here. And then we could be looking for a breakout measure move, something along the lines of that, up to the 4 hour, worth around 7.79% overall. Not too bad here for this asset. That's obviously the greedy measure move. We know the non-greedy measure move will be something along the lines of this. And if that is going to happen, that is going to be the completion, 845. Overall, not looking too shabby for Polkadot. But again, just remember, market structure, you are sat on that higher low point. So if you do break this with certainty, and you break the 0.5 fib, which you already have broke, which is a negative, then yeah, if you break this, then basically I would expect downside. And that's the market structure higher low is 6.15. If you break that, downside is on the cards. Sell your house, sell your dog, short Polkadot. Only playing around. But yeah, that's going to be it from me, guys. Thank you ever so much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, noon, UTC +7. That is when the stream is happening. That's when I'm here. And in the meantime, I'm producing altcoin videos and stuff like that as well. So if you do like the channel, you like the content, make sure you hit subscribe and turn the notification bell on, and you're never going to miss one of my uploads. It's as simple as that. Thank you for being here. I enjoyed being here. Hopefully you did too. If you want to be with us and the CC gang, join the Telegram. That's going to be it from me. Peace out. I'll see you in the next one. Try an outro today, should we?